Hello, Macsen here. Welcome to the 49th video of my EU4 Sweden Let's Play. So during the last video, I annexed pretty much all of the Mayan nation, and that's now turned into a colonial nation, Swedish Mexico. I think this actually might be a territory there of, I didn't quite take all the territory. Perhaps there might be a territory or two of the Mayans, which I missed out by there. So I probably should have explored a bit better. Well, there's only one territory which I took, which isn't on the coast, so I might have taken that instead of Tlaxcala had I known that that existed. I also declared war on the Aztecs at the end of the last video as well, so I'm going to be conducting that war very shortly. Danish is now an accepted culture within the nation, so that's going to help out my income as well. And speaking of income, there's a few things I need to do. I have enough diplomatic points now for the last of the expansion ideas. That's an extra 20% in global trade, so I want to take that definitely. I can't really use that casus belli in Asia yet, but definitely will be able to in the future. I should have enough diplomatic power for peace. I think this shouldn't cost too much against the Aztecs, so I'll do that now. Okay, and I think I'm going to get one of my merchants back. The one in Lubeck probably isn't that good a place. I think there's better, so I'm going to recall him. My power seems to have gone down here a lot actually. I'm not sure. I was getting quite a bit earlier, but now I'm not. So is there anything else I'm forgetting? Oh, I've started to annex the East Frisians in the last video. And as soon as I'm very close to moving my capital. I think I'm probably going to move it to Lubeck after I've taken out the Hansa, but I haven't figured out a way how I'm able to do that yet. Wars in Europe, probably next is going to be either Austria or England. Well, England actually took this territory somehow, probably in a peace against France. So I wouldn't be surprised if my ally Castile declares war on England and gets us into a war against them at some stage. There's a huge power vacuum in this area now with France being weak and Burgundy being weak. Actually, I don't think Burgundy is all that weak, even though it does look weak. You look at the force limits, they're fourth in the world somehow still, even though that's all they've got. Also, I tested out a previous video to see if this was going to cause me problems. The Micmac being a protectorate of Vinland, which I think is a bug. I don't think it is. Basically, if I declare war on them, the Vinland should join my side, I'm hoping. So I'll probably start that war relatively soon. Right, so I need to move my troops over to attack the Aztec, I believe. So, oh, the Aztec as well. They have next to no troops, so I should just move in now, basically. Right, so on pause. Poland entered the military alliance with Silesia. It's not good. They're going to nick that territory that Brandenburg were forced to spit out. Right. Oh, that reminds me as well, I've forgotten something else. Tariffs. I think I'm actually going to increase these. I was planning on just letting events increase my tariffs, but there hasn't been basically any really. I had a quick look in the event file. It's probably one of the biggest event files going for the colonial nations that governs a lot of their tariffs and various other things. But I've had next to no events, so what I'm going to do is increase some of these. Oh, Swedish Mexico's ideas were exactly the same as all the others, so they can't colonize yet either. Still hoping the fourth idea that these nations pick is exploration or expansion. So let's try this out then. This is going to cost me 25 admin points, I believe, though it's not telling me on the tooltip. Right, so that's gone up to 5%, and that went up 3.2%, and that did go down 25. So it's not worth my while the Liberty Desire being more than this amount, I think. Well, I don't know, maybe it is. I'm going to raise these anyway. Let's see how we go. That was 3.3, so it's about what is it? 6.5 per 10% is working out as. So I'm going to raise that again. I can do another one. So what's that? I'm going to do another one. Right, this is really eating up my admin power, but this is going to give me a ton of extra money, so I think it's... Well, I do need my admin power, but I think it's just about worthwhile. I'm actually ahead of time for my admin tech, though there's a lot of ideas I want still. I'm going to do one more. So that would go up 5%, that would go up, what was it, 3 odds. If it goes over 50%, they can potentially get independent. I think I'm going to do another one. Right, I'm probably going to leave it like that. So what about the other ones? That's a lot of points spent. I'll do New Sweden, I think. Right, so I'll have to leave that. So I think basically the best time to do this is when you've got a new colonial nation, when the desire is 0 to raise your taxes. If they're not colonizing, they don't need so much money. They've got large armies already. It probably will affect the size of their army potentially, but it's not a big issue. So I'm going to do this one as well. And again, so this is really eating into my admin points now. Again, I think I can afford one here. Yeah, so I think I'm going to leave it like that. So I've probably spent over 300 admin points, but my income's gone up a lot. Not quite sure what it was before. A lot less than that. Right, so army maintenance is still on. Money's gone up. Right, so back to this war. Okay. Army's reached over here. Are they moving in? Maybe they're not. Let's group all these up then. Let's move there. My fleet, I might as well blockade with them. There's no decent national decisions. Okay. Casus Belli against the... No guy. That's me completing expansion ideas. That's probably the only Asian nation I know of. Usually you get a massive list of them, but I guess I haven't discovered them yet. Or marriage with Pomerania? No. I didn't realise, don't remember that popping up before. Or maybe it's because I have them as an interested nation and I didn't before. Right, so Iroquois have reformed their nation, so their military tech is nearly as good as mine now. It's a pain. I added a few more nations on the interested nations list recently. Oh, this is really good. Colonial Assembly. Swedish West Indies has decided to form their own assembly in order to take control of tax legislation and budgets. They claim that these matters are better handled locally, but it seems suspiciously like a first step towards independence. Right, lose 5 Liberty Desire. Probably because I've raised my taxes now, I'm going to get more of these colonial events. So, could raise this again. I think it will actually. So, I could do one more. Right, that'll do. Probably don't want to go over... Well, if it goes over 50%, I think other nations can support their independence. And if you reach 100%, then they automatically go independent. So I have to be a bit careful. Oh. Swedish Mexico just had the same event. So I could spend some more here. Really using up my admin power now, though. So yeah, well, be careful not to go for 50 though, probably. So that way, yeah, I can have one more. Really low on admin. Right, Maya just made peace with the Aztec. Right, so we've reached there. Gonna hunt down their army first, probably. Are we at war with those guys? No, we're not actually. They've got a large army, but they're rubbish. Can't move there. What about here? Do I have a Conquistador anymore? I think my one died. Right, I'm going to hire a new Conquistador. 50 military power. I'm not going to invest Adolf Johann Gustafsson. I'm not going to spend... Wow, that's gone up a lot. Let's have a look at the tariffs. I don't think you need heavy ships anymore for the tariffs I'm used to, but it doesn't mention it, does it? Right. Right, the Conquistador here. Right, that's terrible news. Brandenburg allied to England. If I declare war on England, it would mean I'd get into war against them, actually, so it might be good, considering I want to be at war with England. Exploits, Pueblo, just joined the war. Right, it's the Pueblo, that's the Pima. So they've got troops in exile there. How many troops do they have? Quite a bit, actually. I need to keep an eye on my supply limits. Okay, new exploits. I found the Aztec army. Just gonna kill them off. That does look Mayan, doesn't it? These can move over to there. Check supply. 29, 23, 22, 17. Right. Okay, let's go for Trasco. Right, so yeah, I'm gonna be ending up at war with the Mayans to take that as soon as the truce runs out then. Arguably it would have been a good idea to make peace with both of these nations at exactly the same time to form the colonial nation, because these won't be called up, I believe, automatically. So I should have done that really, but it would have been would have been quite difficult logistically wise, I think, to sort everything out with that. Making peace with them at the same time. Right, they can move there. Right, I think I'm gonna go and conquer or attack the Pueblo. Normandy, War of Provence again. Right, so supply here. 18. It's a bit over my supply limit actually, but I think I've attacked there. Yeah, the Aztecs don't have as much tariff as the Mayans. I'm not sure if the Mayans took tariff off them or not at some stage. Let's give it that. Let's come down there. Engaged Pueblo. Let's get some more territory. They haven't joined the war for some reason, which I thought a protectorate would do. Maybe it's... I guess they don't protect the protecting nation when they're at war. Right, so these can attach some units here. So I think that's... I got 3,000 in exile. So probably need to keep it about 4,000 here. That's a bit of a pain actually. Right, great day. Select army. What level fort was it? It was... Can't see the number on here. Fort level 2. Select army. Leave cannon. Leave 3,000 behind, I think. There. It's really important to kill off these, or conquer all this territory before the other Europeans do. Right, so we've gone there. What, fort levels? 2, 2, 2. Right, so select army, cannon, and cav. Move to there. This one can have cannon and infantry. To there. This one can have cannon, cav, and infantry. I can move to there. Right. Diplomat arrived back from the Mayans. Right, I think I'm actually... I do want to declare war on these. Finland can do the sieging for me in a bit. But first I think I'm going to make some more claims on England. So covert action, fabricate claim. There's only 2 I can do, which is surprising. I would have thought it'd be more than that down here. A lot more. What claims do I have on them then? None up here. I've got 2 down there. Yeah, that's surprising. Okay, so fabricate claim, I'll do Cartagena. Have a column. Oh, it's because the claims I used to be able to make, my territory became a colonial nation, so I can't make them anymore over here, that's why. Probably should have thought about that before, perhaps. Let's just claim there. And, oh, I've got a merchant bank, which I've forgotten about, and pop didn't work. Right, so that's all working. They're pulling trade from that one, so I don't need to do that. Much power do I have here? A bit, but most of it's going in the right direction. That's correct. Right, this one, Brittany and Normandy's pulling a ton out there, which in the wrong direction. So I don't want that. I think if I can't actually collect there. I'm hoping they change the rules a bit, perhaps in 1.5 with regards to how some of these colonial regions and the trade works. Probably should be able to collect. I'm going to transfer trade power though. Back to the North Sea. So that's 3.38. Let's see what it's like in a bit. 80.6 I'm at. Okay. Might as well put timer up as well. Aztec. Oh, Aztecs have arrived there. Should be able to wipe them out. Yeah, negligible losses. Right. There. Aztec fleet, but I can't get round to this side. I'm not going to be able to for a long time. These can... Right, I'll detach an army here actually, so fort level 2 I'm assuming. Select army, cannon and infantry. Okay. Diplomat arrived home from the Aztec. Say no to that. Right, and I'm going to use this diplomat to declare war on the Micmac. Are they allied to anyone? I don't think so. Just protectorate. Right, so in theory now, Finland won't protect them. I won't end up at war with my own colonial nation, but I guess we'll find out. So, I have tested this, as I mentioned earlier, before when it didn't happen. Right, so they're subject to Finland, which will protect them. Finland is subject to Sweden, which will protect them. So in theory, I'd end up at war with myself and Finland by declaring war, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'm hoping not. Right, so Micmac, they have 6,000 troops, but there's 14,000 here, so they should be enough to take them out. Yeah, Micmac can't call in anyone. No, so we're fine. Right, so put the timer back up. Have they called up? Yeah, they've called up that territory Finland has now, so they don't have anything to call left. Right, so back over here. Right. Right, that looks like the extent of their territory. That's a one nation province by the looks of things. 2,000 are those are the exiled troops. Right, so I'll split these in half. There. Grain. In Chesapeake. Our agent was discovered. Found some more territory down there. That's probably where I'm colonizing next. In this area. Which there. Right, so all of Aztec sieged up. That siege is done. So which one's taking the longest? This one. Okay. Right, looks like Micmac have been wiped out. Excellent. Poland guaranteeing Crimea. I'd quite like the Ottomans to conquer Crimea now, so they'd be a threat to Russia. Ottomans are well, the Ottomans I think are pretty much, they've got the, I think they're the wealthiest nation in the game. Let's have a look. Yeah, so they are supposedly doing well. I'm third now. Alright. Huastek taken. Let's move over to there. Wool in Choco. New alliance. Diplomat arrived back from the Micmac. I need to keep that on hand for peace terms. Relations of Russia. I think I'll improve relations there for a tiny bit. Relations send. Bringing in marriageable women. Choco 2 population, 8 manpower. Excellent. Siege of Mexico's done. These can move on to here. Conversion of Riga is successful. I don't think I have anywhere left to that I can convert now. These have religious seals still. So Narva and Wenden. Pskov actually went over as well. Excellent. I'm not sure how they're getting spread of Protestantism events, and I haven't been. I haven't had one for about, I don't know, 30 years, something like that. Right, so Richard Seal lasts there until 72, so 3 years and 6 years, right. I should get a pop-up tell me about those, but I guess we'll have to wait. Right. Colony damage. That's not good. I have to move 1,000 over there. It's pretty unlikely that was going to happen, but it has. Mayans have got pretender rebels, and New Sweden is still there for some reason. Okay. Right, so they're taken. I think I'll just leave those there. Right, that's done. They can move there. And that's done. These can group up. Move to there. This is going to be done very shortly by looks of things. That's done. Don't know what. 35. I'll leave those there. Diplomat arrived back from Russia. Going to keep that on hand. You can come down there. Any missions? Caddo. Broke their alliance to the... Yes, that's good actually. Want to declare war on them very soon. Small nation here. Right. Merge there. Right. And that's done. Right, so diplomat, I'm going to annex the Aztec then, I believe. Let's see what I can get. Right, so clear offer. Right, I'm not going to do that. Full annex, because it costs diplomatic points. So I can get 66 there. What about your money? 49. I don't think it's going to cause... Well, it'll probably cause aggressive expansion with the Mayans, and that's about it, even though it's not telling me. Do that. Prestige, not that I probably need anymore. Trade power. Take that off, actually. Right, so there's probably going to be... Right, let's just check which... That should all be Mexican colonial region. Yeah. So, Swedish Mexico might have a few problems here corner, but I think this is worthwhile doing. So, I have to keep a few troops down here for a bit. Right, so send a man. Where's... Right, that's the capital. Right. Time down a second. Right. New exploits. And in a day it should go over to Swedish Mexico. Check the aggressive expansion then. So the Mayans are up to 146, so it definitely worked on them. These 8, next to nothing. 2. What about Europeans? Probably nothing. Yeah, nothing there. Nothing there. Right, good. So in a day, it's turned over to Swedish Mexico. Okay, so yeah, and sadly they're not chords, so this is going to cause problems for Swedish Mexico in a minute. Right, so I've got to group up my armies. So where do I want them? 39, I'll bring them down to this province. Missions. No, I'm probably going to have to increase my... Yeah, I'm definitely going to be increasing my army size. I think I'll do that in the next video though. It's probably been about half an hour-ish. So thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you next time.